Welcome to another edition of Farming Simulator 2013 Mod Mashup. Alright, so this is the Combine Edition. And as you can see, I have a fair number of Colossus apparently. Didn't realize how many I had, but those seem to be the best models, and I prefer to only use good models. Honestly, I haven't found too many good North American models. I do have this one John Deere over here. So we shall start with this. This is the John Deere 9770 STS. As you can see, this is what it looks like on the outside. Not too bad. Pretty good graphics. Nothing too crazy here. Not that bad. Looks good. It's got wheels on it. It looks as if you could... It looks like it has the same sort of capability as the new titanium pack stuff, but it doesn't. Not to the best of my knowledge, at least. I honestly haven't used this too much. And this tractor is actually in German, which is kind of interesting. So as you can see, it says M and Y. Well, M is just for something. I'm not sure what exactly it is. But Y is to start the engine. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So a pretty quiet combine, actually. It's actually louder inside than it is outside. And I have a few fields planted here already. Let's look for, not corn. Where are we here? Let's do, no, I can't do sugar beets. Wheat, 6. Alright, let's go, oh, perfect. So let's head south here, which apparently is the other way. And I'll fire this combine up just to see if it works. We got 6 up top here. I thought we had, that's corn. Oh, I guess not. Alright, so let's put it on 6. Let's just drive up the hill here with our combine. The one thing I did notice about this combine actually is it's a little bouncy. I don't know why. But there you go. It is a bit strange. Alright, so let's just hire a worker and see how it goes. As you can see, the hire worker does work efficiently. Now, okay, M is for straw or no straw. So STROH is straw, I believe, in German. Let's just see if I can get that to work. There you go. It's still dropping straw apparently though. That's weird. Number 7. This is the problem. That's strange. It apparently still leaves it as straw, even though it's supposed to be spreading it out. That's weird. Huh. Maybe if I stop and start it again. Sometimes on some combines you can go to the back and it'll change it, but not in this one apparently, which is a bit strange. So let's see. Apparently you have to stop it and then start it again for the straw to chop. Alright, so it does chop straw as well. So let's pick up a vehicle to unload just to verify that it does unload. Let's pick up one of the Duke Fireman's trucks. I don't get to use this one very often, so let's pick that one up. And we'll pick up a tipper to go along with it just to ensure that it does work. Not the corn husker, that's way too long. Let's pick up something shorter. Yeah, here we go. Let's do the Kroger Agaliner. Alright, so let's hop over to the truck and just make sure that it works out. Actually, you know what's funny? This truck right here is way too big for this trailer, but that's beside the point. This is Duke's heavy haul-in truck. Anyways. No, I don't have the link for this mod because Duke's site is shut down at the moment. But Deere Tebbers is trying to work towards getting Duke's mods hosted on StockwellGlaws.com. In case you're wondering. Alright, so let's just go over here. Pick up this. There we go. Perfect. Alright, so let's go see if he unloads properly. Alright. He should be able to. I don't know why he wouldn't be able to, but Never know these things. Alright, so let's make sure he unloads properly. Alright, coming around here. Let's just test this out. Does it unload? Yes, it does. Excellent. So I'm just going to drive up a little bit here and hop in this John Deere. Unload it completely. And apparently it's done already, which is good. Let's see if it has in-cab sound. No, it doesn't. It actually is louder on the inside. I think they messed that one up a little bit. Anyways, let's see if it works with course play. Oof. What field is this? Alright, so let's just do a little course right here. I'm just going to record a square here, basically. So as you can see, this combine is a little peppy. Does about 30 clicks an hour, which is pretty fast for a combine. It will get the job done. Not the nicest model. I'd like it to be like the Colossus a bit more, with a bit more detail, but all in all, it's a fairly solid combine. Alright, I think this is 11 meter head. So let's just see. I was going to save this as wheat so I can use it again for other. Alright, so let's just set it for 10 point, or 11's fine, whatever. Alright, so let's see. So it's going to drive to the nearest point, and then it should just... Let's move this truck out of the way here. Alright, so it did drop the head, which is good. Not all combines will work properly like that. It'll drop the head. Apparently it's finished work. That's awesome. So it did apparently work. Set to the first waypoint. And it doesn't wither crops like the Colossus do, which is kind of nice as well. It's got the... I forget what they call it. It's not a flex head, I think is what they call it. But it's got the conveyor belts instead of the auger, which is nice because it doesn't ruin your crops quite as much. In real life, at least. In this game, it doesn't make a difference. But I'm not sure what 7 does. It's in German, so I can't read it. Let's just make sure it starts at the starting point, and then we'll move on to the next combine. So this is the John Deere 9770 STS. It's not a bad model. Nothing too fancy on the inside. Just close this, close this. It does work with course play. It functions. It's not terrible. Yeah, you work. You're good. Alright, so that is the John Deere 9770 STS. Let's just unload him, like so. Perfect. So I'm just going to put him over here for the time being. Leave him off to the side. Perfect. Alright, so here we have the New Holland Clayson. This is one done by FS UK, an older model, so if you're looking for a classic combine, this is your choice. Nothing too fancy, no in-cab stuff because there's no roll cab inside. The pedals do work and stuff, which is pretty cool actually. And the lights light up, and if you look right here, the speedometer actually works and the pedals work as well, which is kind of cool. Alright, so let's pick up that course. Let's make sure it works with Hard Worker. I still can't figure out why this corner is so busy here, but it is really busy apparently, so. Alright, so I know this one works with a Hard Worker because I've used it before many times. So it does work, it functions properly, which is good. Alright, let's hire a worker on this field over here, just to ensure that it does in fact work. This one, there's no option to chop your straw, just in case you want to chop your straw. You can't with this particular tractor. And it has this remove dividers from transport mode, and I believe you have to walk around the front here and attach dividers. So place dividers for transport mode, remove dividers. There you go. So you can do little things like that with this. Apparently I didn't. There we go. Apparently I shut it off. So there you go. Drops the straw like so. Hard worker works. Excellent. Let's just make sure it unloads when it's a hard worker. I know it will, but for test purposes, let's hop back in the heavy hauling truck here. This truck kind of reminds me of Dirt Timbers did a mod Spotlight. Oh, this is not going to work here. Ah, yes, it will. He did a mod Spotlight on. Oh, yes, it will. Wow, it's a lot higher than I thought it was. On Big Bud, and it's just the smoke just blooms out of that thing, much like this truck does. All right, so it works with a hard worker. This is good. All right, let's dismiss the worker. Has that cool little sound when the header does its things. Let's set it on courseplay, make sure that works. So it should go to its first point and then start harvesting. Let's just ensure that it does do that. First point's over here somewhere. Not a bad looking combine. It's a nice older looking combine. This is the type of combine you used to see around a lot more in the earlier days. An open combine like this, although it was extremely dusty. Some people still hold these combines on their farms just for test purposes sometimes, to test the moisture levels. They do it with these small combines sometimes. They do it for, you know, just for the sake of having an older combine on the farm as well. Lots of different reasons. Alright, so it does work with courseplay. There it goes. It's getting on to its proper point now. This is good. Excellent. There you go. So it works with courseplay as well. This is good. And it raises and lowers the head and unloads as well. Excellent. So again, this is the New Holland Clayson. This is from the FS-UK guys. And it's a nice looking combine. Alright, so this one you've all seen before as well. This is the Don 1500, and it is a Russian combine. If you can read that, Pocket Mob, maybe, I'm not sure. It does have a couple cool little features on the outside. If we go to the back here, you can enable shredder from the back. Where are you? Turn off. Maybe I have. No, I should be able to enable it. Key 7. Oh, there. So it wants me to. I think it wants me to turn the combine on first, for whatever reason. There you go. That's what it sounds like when it turns on. And I should be able to just. Oh, that's weird. Wonder why it's doing it like that. It should just close. Key 7. Well, it does work. I haven't used it before. I don't know why it's not working right at this particular moment. You can take off the shield here. So you can do that shield down there. You can take off the shield on the other side, which is 6, like so. And if you turn the combine on, you can actually. Oh, you need to do this first. One of the things I noticed that you have to do first is you have to unfold the combine. So you have to put it into work mode, basically, before the header will actually turn on, which is one of the interesting features about it. So there you go. So there, now it's actually working. So it's in work mode now, and you do come out of the front there all the time. So now the chopper's on, and if I got a bit closer here, so then it turns the chopper off, like so. But you have to manually do it from outside the combine. You can't do it from the inside. Alright. Apparently that person just walked through our combine. Alright, this is a pretty highly detailed combine. As you can see, you have the fan right there swirling. It does work. It does have in-cab sound as well, which is really nice. If you look carefully, the levers work. I believe the pedals work too. Do they? Yes, they do. There they are. So the pedals do work in this combine as well. It's not a North American combine. It's a Russian combine, and probably a workhorse from back in the day. But it's a very highly detailed combine. Looks really nice. for this mod. It's a nice price too. It's $15,000 for a low-level combine. It's a good starter combine if you want to play with Russian combines, I suppose. It does have a beacon, if you like beacons for whatever reason. Alright, let's hire a worker. I know it works with Courseplay as well. Alright, let's just hire a worker. And as you can see, actually, you can see the auger on the inside there. It turns, emptying out the grain to the hopper in the middle there. You can come around here and turn that off if you want to. It does work with a hired worker as well. Let's just make sure it unloads. It should. Oh, this one might be a bit too tall for it, but we'll find out. Oh yeah. Is it gonna unload? No, I don't think so. Not just like this. Wow. That's unfortunate. Alright, well, let me just get something else then that will actually work. Here we go. Where is it? No, not this. There we go. So let me just fire this one up and I'll grab that. I will grab the trailer and we'll use that to unload that combine. Here we go. This is the part of the Case Magnum pack. I totally forgot it was washable, but it is. I don't use them enough to know that offhand. Apparently my driving skills are a little poor today. Oh goodness. And this is like the worst map for where they drop things. It's ridiculous. Can I really not pick this up with this tractor? Wow. That's unexpected. Huh. Well. That is extremely unexpected. Let's just turn that off then. I guess I need to pick up a different tractor. That's weird. What do we have here? Let's pick up with this case, I guess. Oh goodness, the trials and tribulations of mods sometimes, and sometimes it's because it just doesn't work with maybe because I know some mods don't work well with some of this, like whoops, some of the stuff that that Giant has made sometimes. So that's one of the weird things. All right, is this going to be too tall again? Better not be. There we go. Alright, so you need to be careful with this tractor because it does have wither wheels on it. But it should be low enough to be able to, to unload that combine. If not, well, that's going to be really, really annoying, but you never know. Alright, let's just check. So he's gone all the way down the field now. So that grain tank in that particular combine is a bit small. I think it has like 6,000 liters. That's what it holds. And he's going on the wrong side. I'm totally going to wreck all the crops with this tractor. Just my luck. Alright, let's test this out. This should be low enough. It better be. There we go. Yeah, so there you go. It does unload with a hired worker. I'm just going to stop this guy here, hop in the combine here. And we're gonna dismiss the worker and then set him up for the hired worker here. So the hired worker is gonna go to this spot where it's supposed to go, and it does work with a hired worker, with a Courseplay worker as well. Apparently it's going to 29. Let's just do that again. Oops. There we go. So as you can see, it works perfectly with Courseplay as well. It's lining up itself and doing what it's got to do. This is good. Doesn't wither crops, which is nice as well. Nice Russian-style combine. And there's one other thing. You can put the staircase out, if I remember correctly. It's got a nice, a lot of nice little things about this. Then you can get out here and then walk down the stairs, do that kind of stuff. All right, what's the next combine we have here? All right, so this is the class Lexion 550. I'm not sure which version this is. Let's go to tractor or harvesters. Where are we? It should be up here somewhere. Nope, nope. Here it is. It doesn't say which version. So 7.5 meter length, holds 96,000 liters, costs 220,000. I've got a corn header on it right now, just because every other harvester I have has a wheat or barley header. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this guy up. So this guy you do need to unfold and what is it to put it into work mode? K, it was K. So you need to put him into work mode first before he'll start doing things. And if you hire a worker automatically, it does work as well. All right. And it's a small combine. It does have in-cab sound, which is nice, and it does have a little bit of IC, so you can bring up your camera here and you can look at the back of your combine, your pipe light or your pipe, the rear of your tractor there. You can look at, not on this header, but on other headers you can look at your left side and right side to make sure you are getting all the swath possible. And this is the combine, this is the corn header that comes with it. As you can see, it does have a nice little graphic when it's harvesting corn, which is nice. Let's take a quick peek. There you go. Doesn't show the auger moving itself, but it does work. Let's hop into, where are we? I'm just going to establish a tip point right here, apparently. There we go. And I'm just going to tip this out so I can pick up that corn there. There we go. And it does work with Courseplay, and it does work with a hard worker. I've used this combine as well on some of my just playing by myself. I've used this combine. It's a really nice looking combine. There we go. Unloads with a hard worker. One thing you do need to note though is if you're driving this combine, if you're driving the combine itself, if you bring it over a truck itself, like so, it won't automatically start dumping. As you can see, you actually have to trigger the dumping with N, like so. But otherwise, it's a nice combine, so we're just going to record a little course right here. Do a little square. And it does work with Courseplay as well. I'll just show you that, just so you can see it. There we go. Call this one corn. And like so. And once it picks up the right spot, it should lower the head down and start harvesting. Should being the keyword, of course. Oh, you're gonna go to the first waypoint? Alright. Let me just reposition him then. Alright, so because this is a field mode thing, it has to fold the head first, and then it'll go into the spot where it wants to be, basically, from Courseplay, and then it'll unfold the head and lower and start harvesting. And the only reason it does that is just because it has a folding head. It doesn't wither crops like the class Lexion 770 and the class Lexion 780. Apparently it's, there it goes, so it should theoretically unfold the head. And I don't think it's going to actually, or is it? There it goes. So it should unfold the head, but apparently it's not. Yeah, that's one of the things you need to keep in mind sometimes. Things always don't work, especially with things like this. So I'm just going to back him up a little bit here, and I'm going to lower the head. And then it should be fine. Yeah, so there. You kind of have to do a little bit of work with it, but it does work with Courseplay once you set it up properly. It raises the head and lowers it appropriately, as you can see. Which is nice. It's a nice small little combine. It is a bit on the expensive side, like I said. $220,000. For this corn head, it's $31,000, and you can get these two, which are both $32,000, 7.5 meters and 6.6 meters. I'm just going to stop him and move him out of the way, like so. Turn him off. I also have a Class 770. This one also has the same in-cab stuff. It's got the cameras, like so, and if you have the right head on, you can do that. That is unfold the pipe, and that is deactivate chopper, and you can do that from inside as well. Alright, so let's bring the pipe in, and then we'll go to the cornfield again. Oops. Apparently the pipe is collidable. So let's go ahead and unfold this corn header here, and just test it out over here as well. This is the 8-row corn header for the Claas combines. This works from the 770 and the 780. So there's a hard worker. As you can see, it has the same graphic. It does have in-cab sound, which is nice. If you like playing in-cab. It does not have dynamic exhaust, which is kind of a sad thing, but that's okay. Let's hop back into the truck. There we go. It does unload automatically. Let's just get over there. Let's turn around slowly here, and it does unload while it's a hard worker, like so. There you go. It does work. And then it does wither crops, as you can see, which is a bit of a downfall. And it does work with Courseplay as well. Let me just show you that. And I'm just going to set it to the nearest. So the same thing applies with this. You have to start it up first. So it'll start. I always just start the head, and then when it finds its place. So particularly with this particular combine, because it does ruin crops if you don't set it up properly. Apparently it wants to do silly things. Ah well. How about you work on this side? There you go. So it does work with Courseplay once you get it lined up properly. As you can see, there it is. It's going to turn around now. And the funny thing is, right now it's in the middle of the field, so it's going to terrorize the crops. But it does work with Courseplay, which is good. As you can see, in-cab sound with a nice feature. All around, nice looking combine. 780. It's got the tracks in the front, TerraTrak. Ooh, I didn't notice that. Wow, that's high detail. That's crazy. So the corn header does work with it as well. Nothing too crazy. That's what it looks like for the grain plane on the inside. Not too bad. Alright, so this is basically almost the identical combine. This is the Claas 780 Lexion. So this is a combine that is, let me just show you. So this is the 770, so it's 12,850 liters. That's 550 horsepower. Maintenance is 580. Costs $370,000, and works with the 12-meter head, the Claas Vireo, or the Claas Conspeed, which is the 8-row corn header, which we have in the 770. We have the 780, which is 380,551 with 13,000 liters. So for an extra 10 grand, you get an extra 1,000. What is it? Yeah, 1,000 liters. And the nice thing about this is, well, the bad thing is that it's all in German. So you need to be able to read German, or at least know the keys to do certain things. I'm not sure what 6 and 5 do. Well, that's lights. There you go. I thought that might have been 4, but I guess it's not. Numpad 4. Well, that's the pipe light. Alright, so let's just hire a worker here. And show you that it works like this. This is a hard worker going at it. I'm just gonna hop back into the truck here. Let's establish another tip point. There we go. Just dump the corn out there for the time being. So we're not testing tippers, we're testing combines. And then we'll turn around and go unload the other combine there. So right now it's got a 12-meter head on it. And it does work with courseplay as well, and I'll show you that momentarily. It does wither crops. There we go. This is it being unloaded by a hard worker. There you go, so that works as well. This is good. Alright, so let's dismiss the worker here for a second. Open the wheat up, or the wheat course. There's his beacon. Let me just hop back in the truck here. He's going to be right in the way. And as you can see, it works with courseplay. It's just getting to its first point, and then we'll do its thing. It's got a bit of a crazy beacon going on there. And apparently it drives fairly quickly. So here it is working on its actual course, which is good. It's set on a 3-meter course, so that's why it's turning. It has dynamic exhaust. It has in-cab sound, which is so nice. You can make it so it chops the straw, or not chops the straw, like so. If you want the straw or don't want the straw. Like I said, the downfall of this is that it is in German, so you need to be aware of that. There we go. It does wither crops, as you just saw. So that's the Class 780. It looks very similar to the 770, just carries a bit more, and that's about it really. And it's a bit more expensive. Alright, so let's hop into the... This is the class, another class, Jaguar 980. This is a forage harvester. There's its head right there. Not a bad looking combine from the outside. Inside, no in-cab control on this particular model. I may have to link to a newer version that may have some in-cab stuff, but there's no in-cab stuff for this particular one. So let me just fire it up. Let's hear what it sounds like. Apparently it's a really quiet combine. Doesn't appear to have in-cab sound. I've had this combine for a while. I just don't use forage combines very often. Let's open up the pipe here. So, let me just turn on the... Oh, there we go. So that's what it looks like when it's turned on. And lots of detail. As you can see, everything's turning. Alright, so it is on a hill, so this is one thing you need to be careful of with this particular, with this forager. So let's just hire a worker here. And let's hop back into the truck here. I'm just gonna put this in a group, so I don't have to keep doing that. Don't know why I didn't do that before. So let's unload this wheat, and I'll show you what that hard worker looks like on that combine. There we go. So let's just head down here. Alright. So this is what it looks, the Class 980 Orbits looks like. So as you can see, it has a graphic there, a really nice one for pulling in the corn. Dishes out chaff like so. Does work with a hard worker, as you can see. Alright, this is good. And it does work with... I'm not sure actually if it works with courseplay. I don't know why it wouldn't, but never know. Alright, so let's see what it does in the nearest point. let's hop back in the truck here, and he should, because it's on course play, it'll get to its first point, lower the head, and then it won't do anything until there's a truck behind it with course play. So now I'm here, so there it started to move. So you do have to be careful if you're trying to use this particular forager on uneven ground like we're doing here, but it does look really cool. There you go. So it works with course play as well. So the class Jaguar 980 doesn't give you any information, unfortunately. 120,000. The head is 36,000. Again, not much information, unfortunately. Alright, do we have any other combines I haven't done in here? I'm not going to do I guess I could, whatever. That's part of the regular stuff, I'm not going to show that. And this, I have no idea how to use this, so I'm not going to show you. That I can't use, actually. I don't know how many grass set up. But, let's see. Where's that other tractor? Alright, so here is the case once again. So we're going to pick up this kid over here. Hopefully it works properly with this thing. I've never tried it with it. Oh, it does. Good. Alright, so you do need to attach the PTO, like see this, like so. This is the Kid Double Chop Forage Harvester. So this cuts right off the bat. So you can cut grass with it, you can cut corn with it, you can cut wheat, I believe, as well. And it changes it into chaff. In this case, I'm going to change corn into chaff. Let's put it into field position here. It does work with a hired worker as well, or not hired worker, with a with course play. So here, what it looks like. You're just using it as a forager with corn, like so. You can't hire a worker with this one, unfortunately. Although it does work with course play. There we go. Let's hop back in the truck here. And it should... There it is. Let's get this thing out of the way. There we go. And let's hop back in the truck. Alright, so once this once this tractor finds where it's supposed to be, it should... There we go. Apparently it's finished work. Alright, well... you haven't finished work yet. Let's just say that. Now, it should work with course play, although I've never actually tried it. I think this is one of the ones where you have to actually turn it on first. But the problem with that, of course, is that if you don't have a truck standing by like we do right now, it will just go around chopping things without it being used at all. Let's just double check. Yeah, that's what I thought was going to happen. So it does work with course play, you just need to be a bit careful. You're probably better off to course play just the truck and not the forager like this. But it does work. Just depends on how you want to do it. Alright, I think I do have one more combine actually. Nope. Did that one, did that one, that one, that one. Yes, 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 yes. Alright, so I do have one more combine actually. This is a Case IH2388EU. Not sure what that means. I think it means it's a European model. So this is actually done by a French modding people, I think, because it's all in French. It is... Here it is, right here. That's what the header looks like. This is what the actual combine looks like. I was thinking about using this one for the new Let's Play, but I don't like the way it works at all. That's the only reason why I have it right at this particular moment. So you get some interesting things. So you have information in the bottom right-hand corner there, like so. You have this activate and deactivate hydrostatic drive, which is a bit strange. So I guess it means, do you want it in gears or the hydrostatic? It does play Depending on what you have set up for it, it does play a little funny. Does it have in-cab sound? Apparently it's louder inside the cab. Get out of the way. There we go. Alright. So let's hook up this corn header and I'll show you what it looks like. I tried it a little bit with corn, but not too much. The one thing I found with this is that I had to fiddle around with it a lot to get it to work properly. I believe it's K that unfolds it. Yeah, it doesn't even tell you that it K unfolds that, so you need to figure that out yourself, which is fun. Let's see. If I hire a worker, is it going to start cutting automatically? No. That's the other weird thing. So you can hire a worker. The hire worker does work, but you have to set it up properly, and it's not obvious how to do that. Jeez, I forget. I think it's... So let's just turn it on. And... MNLL. So you have to actually hit a few... I don't know, it doesn't say L at all in any of the buttons, but you have to hit a couple... You have to figure out which button it is for it to work properly, which is a bit strange, so... So there you go, that's this. So let's hire a worker. And let's hop back in the truck. Apparently we need another tipping point to get rid of this chaff again. Alright, if you're wondering what that mod's called, it's called Placeable Heaps. The one I just used to drop that chaff there. It's called Placeable Heaps. I believe you can get it on Mod Hoster. So it does work with a hard worker, as you can see. It's kind of a cool looking combine, kind of, if it worked properly and it was easier to use. Alright, that auger comes out really slowly apparently. Does it unload automatically? Let's see. This is a combine I just picked up recently and haven't used it very much, so it does unload properly. That's good. So let's just hop in it. Not that. Let's hop in the combine. Let's see if it works with Courseplay. I think it does, but it does have that weird issue. I'm just going to turn it on so it works properly from the beginning. Does it have any IC? No. It does have a HUD. You can turn on and off, which is... Where's my HUD? Enter. So you can turn on the HUD on and off. And you have, in the bottom left-hand corner, you have things like adjusting reel. I have no idea what that does. So it's like left, right, forward, back, reset, left mirror mode. I have no idea what those things do. Autopilot mode, not really sure at all. Anyways, let's move this thing out of the way. Apparently it's in the way. Alright. There we go. Now this truck's in the way. I don't believe it has wither wheels, so there, it does work with Courseplay. You just need to get it on the right point first, apparently, as always with Courseplay. Alright, let's set it to the first point. Let's pull it back over here. As you can see, it has a little flywheel in the back corner there, which is kind of cool. Maybe it doesn't work with Courseplay. Interesting. I had it working before. It is pretty peppy. Alright, let's see what it does. It's gonna turn in circles. Alright, so nearest point. Has a weird squeaking sound, and I have no idea why. I know it does work with Courseplay, but it's not playing nicely right now, apparently. Alright. It wants to go this way. Let's set it up properly then. Alright. There. So it does work with Courseplay, you just need to set it up properly. Apparently I'm bad at setting combines up today. So it does work with Courseplay, as you can see. It's just going to do the loop around, I think. But it does work. So there you have it. Let's just reset all those combines back to where they're supposed to be. And we'll go through them briefly one more time. Alright. I'm just going to leave the heads out there. And let's hop into one of them. Alright, so this was the Class 770. It has wither wheels, in-cab sound, no dynamic exhaust, and works with a 12-meter header. This is the Class 7, this is the Class 550, does have in-cab sound, does not have dynamic exhaust, does not have wither wheels, which is nice as well. That is the Case IH European Case IH 2388 axial flow. A little finicky. This is the Class Jaguar 980 with the Orbit's head. This is the Dawn 1500. Does have in-cab sound. I believe it does have dynamic exhaust. Has working levers and working pedals on the inside. Has some extra little things on the outside, like the left shield and the right shield, like you can do this. This is the Class 780, Lexion 780. Does have in-cab sound. Does have dynamic exhaust. A bit more expensive. That's the New Holland Clayson, cheaper model. Does have working pedals and does have working gauges, which is nice. This is the John Deere 9770 STS. Works with an 11-meter header. Does not have in-cab sound. Does have beacons though. Alright, let me just show you them quickly in the information in the store. So this is the Case IH header, is 6.7 meters. This is the Korn header I was using, which is 6 meters. This one costs $300,000. It's in French. Puissance max, so that's maximum power you can get. And the maintenance, and it says you can use it for blé, l'orge, et le colza et la maize. So it's corn, blé, I think that's wheat. I'm assuming you can use it with corn, wheat, canola, and barley. Class Lexion 550 holds 9,600 liters. Can use a 7.5 meter head, 220,000. Works with a 6.6 meter head or a 7.5 meter head, and the Class Conspeed 6-75. 770, 12,805 50 liters, 551 horsepower. Works with this one. I modded this one, but normally it works with wheat, barley, canola, and corn using the Conspeed head. This one works with soybeans and oats as well. Works with a 12-meter head and the 8-row corn harvester. Class Lexion 780 holds 13,850 liters, 551 horsepower, wheat, barley, and canola with corn using the appropriate head. The Class Jaguar, no information, 120,000. With the header, it's 36,000. The John Deere 9770 STS, $299,000, holds 11,000 liters. The head on it is 11 meters wide. And we also use the Kidd Forge Harvester 346. Needs at least 70 horsepower engine. It's done by NA Modding. It's 1.8 meters wide. Works with corn, grass, barley, wheat, and canola. It turns it into chaff, or you can actually cut grass with it and make it into chaff or grass as well. And we also have the New Holland Clayson, 11 grand, holds 2,850 liters, $230 a day for maintenance. Has a little bit of information about it, done by the FS-UK guys. 4.8 meters wide head, $45 a day, and also comes with its own header, which is kind of cool. The Dawn 1500A, 6,000 capacity, 162 kilowatts, which I think is 180, I think it's kilowatts, 180-ish horsepower, something like that. Harvest wheat, barley, canola, and corn. Corn's a bit finicky because you need to find the right header for it, as I discovered. The header on it's 6 meters wide, and it comes with this thing that helps chops the straw and laying it in a swath. Alright, so that is your mod mashup for the combines that we have. My name's Ian Robson, this is Farming Simulator 2013. You can find the links below for all the mods, and you have yourselves a good day.